Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying-Model-Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. So sit back, relax, and let's talk about the upcoming Marvel Legends for 2024. Oh my goodness, we are jumping way into the future, but I got a source. I know a guy who knows a guy. This is a little Hong Kong contact I've got here, but this is the first time that I'm getting information from this person, so there's no basis for reliability besides my own rambling experience. So take this with the biggest pinch of salt in the world. Anything can happen, because what I don't want to do is say that something's coming out, say for example, a new Jim Lee style Sabretooth, which would then make you sell your current Sabretooth in the knowledge that there's another one coming, and then it doesn't happen. Then all of a sudden, I'm the guy responsible for you selling your Sabretooth when you shouldn't have. I don't want that to be the case. So this is what I hear. I trust this source. I genuinely do. Otherwise, I wouldn't be making this video. But the validity remains to be seen. That being said, we got a whole bunch of figures that are apparently going to come out next year. So let's talk about them. So next year celebrates the 50th anniversary of Wolverine. It'll be 5 decades with the old knucklehead, and Marvel Legends are going to lean heavily into this with a whole bunch of Wolverine 2-packs. Yes, as the last year has shown us, 2-packs seem to be the style du jour for Marvel Legends to put figures out, and we're going to get a whole bunch of them. First of all, we're going to get a first appearance Psylocke with a Wolverine of some description. I don't know what one that is, but we can focus on Psylocke. So this is going to be first appearance style, which is kind of a cool look. Very kind of heavily armored, more of like a medieval warrior sort of look to her. That's kind of cool. That's one I can genuinely look forward to. Okay, you might get a few of these cutaways throughout the video as I realize I need to correct myself on stuff. First appearance Psylocke, that kind of is a wide spectrum, because you got first appearance Betsy Braddock, first appearance Revanche? I never knew how to pronounce that. That is something to do with her, isn't it? I get so confused. And then of course there's first appearance Psylocke. So, I don't know. We'll wait and see. This is already starting off pretty dubious. Then the next 2-pack is going to be a bit of a reiteration. Is that a word? It's going to be a reiteration, it is now, of the old Toy Biz retro style civilian Wolverine. And this is kind of cool. We've got one civilian Wolverine in his black tank top, and there's one in a white tank top that came with the rider's bike as well. Look at Dave actually remembering stuff. But this, I think, is more of the Canadian lumberjack looking Wolverine with the jacket and the plaid shirt. I like the idea of this. It's not that different from, I think, the Old Man Logan looking Wolverine, but I think if they do it in that style of the original Toy Biz one, that for me, that's a real classic Wolverine. I really dig that. Maybe some of the animated series sort of influence too. I like the sound of that. But it's not going to be full-on retro-carded style from what I understand, because we're also going to be getting with him as a 2-pack Lilandra from the Shi'ar. Did I pronounce her name right? Lilandra? I'm going to say Lilandra. And she's one that people have been asking for a long time, because we got a head of her that came with... Who did it come with? Was it Mystique? Or was it Professor X for some reason? Either way, we got a head, but we never got anything else to really put that head on. I think a few people used the Silver Sable body. That's not a bad one. But regardless, we're going to get a proper version of her with a civilian costume Wolverine. That could be quite a fun set. Now a real big one that everyone has been wanting for a long time. I say everyone because I've wanted it, and therefore I speak for everyone. That's how the internet works. So we are going to get the big deluxe Jim Lee Sabretooth that we've always wanted. Finally, yes! This is one that if it comes to fruition, I'm going to be real happy about. And that's why I kind of teased him at the start. So I'm saying don't sell your current Jim Lee Sabretooth, just in case this doesn't happen. But again, I trust the source, so time will tell. But I like the idea of just having this big, ominous, scary, jacked up, hairy, classic looking Sabretooth. And apparently he will be in a 2-pack as well. It's going to be one of those deluxe and regular figure 2-packs, just like the Mania and Space Venom that was just announced. So it's going to be a big, badass Sabretooth, maybe on the Caliban body. That would work really, really well. And with him is going to be another Wolverine. And I'm thinking that maybe Department H? I think that could work really well. His undercover, not undercover, but his spy, covert ops type costume that I will always remember from the Weapon X Lies and Videotape episode of the animated show. That would be a really cool Logan to have. You can pair him up with the Maverick figure that we've got as well. That would make for a fun display. So I'm kind of calling that. I'm thinking that's going to be the Logan that would come with the big jacked up saber tooth. That would actually make really good sense as a 2-pack. Yeah, that kind of gets the creative juices flowing. I like the idea of that as a set. Then another one which makes perfect sense, sticking with Wolverine and the 2-packs, we're going to get a Patch and Joe Fixit 2-pack. And this one, look, they're kind of laying the groundwork for it already. We are getting a beautiful looking Joe Fixit coming out later this year. And I have to say, like, that one really did kind of win me back a bit towards Marvel Legends, because that Joe Fixit figure, oh, he looks really good. So pairing him up with Wolverine in their white putting on the Ritz tuxedos, I love the idea of that. I haven't read any of those stories where they're together as a little double act. I don't think that actually lasted for very long, but when it did, it made a very iconic image, the scene of the two of them together. So having them in a deluxe and regular figure 2-pack kind of thing, yeah, that's going to look great. Again, these are exciting combinations that make sense. I'll be all in for those. Now, kind of a very random one. We've got Herald Thor being re-released in a darker kind of color scheme. I don't know. I don't know about that. It's just it was what was on the list that my source gave me, and like, okay, a repainted Herald Thor. I mean, that is what it is, I suppose. Now I honestly think that someone was taking a little sneaky peek at my wish list, because we are going to get a deluxe Archangel, or not Archangel, excuse me, a deluxe Angel. So feather wings, and apparently it's the red halo suit. And yes, please, and thank you. I'd love to have the metallic wings, because that's always going to be my Archangel, but I guess if you've got the original, you could maybe fudge them on. That would be great if he comes with the feather wings, but you can actually port the metal ones on there as well. That would be wicked. If it's going to be a deluxe, give us a regular skin tone and a blue skin tone as well. Then you can mix and match however you like. Oh, Hasbro, why am I not on your payroll? Well, probably because I'd irritate the heck out of you if I was working for you. I get it. I'm good in small doses. But yeah, a deluxe Angel in the red. Again, ideally, I would have liked the blue, but it's fine. I'll take it, because this is one that I've been wanting for a long time. Speaking of wanting things for a long time, Wolfsbane. Finally getting a proper standalone Wolfsbane figure. This, people have been asking for a long ass time. And my mind always goes doolally. There's Feral as well. We want Wolfsbane and Feral. One of them is an X Factor, one of them is an X Force. I can't remember, because, you know, knowledge is quite finite. I have always been in pursuit of knowledge. However, knowledge has always been faster. So yes, we're getting a Wolfsbane, and you can put her with the applicable team that Wolfsbane is supposed to go with. Going over to the Inhuman side of things, we're getting Icarus as well, a comic book Icarus. I know, I said Inhumans. I meant Eternals. And the second time I say Inhumans, yeah, I probably meant Eternals as well. Like, my QC issues, worse than Hasbro. I'm not a big Inhumans person. It's funny, so many things I talk about, I'm like, I'm not a big fan of this person, or I don't know very much about this person. You gotta be watching it going, what are you a fan of, Dave? Besides the Clone Saga. Do you actually read comics? I do, I swear. But I've just never been a big cosmic person, so the Inhumans always pass me by. But I know that Icarus is a big deal, so it makes sense that he would finally get a big action figure, or a regular sized one, that to people will be a big deal. And again, ticking off action figures that people have been wanting for the longest time. Kazar! We're going to take a trip to the Savage Land and get a Kazar figure. Yes! I really hope that these all come to fruition. I really do, because there are so many that people have been wanting for the longest time. One of the best Builder-figures that Hasbro have ever done, in my opinion, is Sauron. He's just, it's such a great figure. And then if we're going to be able to pair him up with a Khazar as well, that's just going to be money, baby. It's going to look great. So I'm really, really down for that. Fingers crossed that's going to happen, because that'll be wicked. Speaking of wicked, this is another one that's been on my want list for the longest time. Heroes Reborn Iron Man. This is one of the coolest Iron Man armors I think ever. Still, arguably hasn't been topped. This might actually still be my favorite. Shellhead from the much maligned Heroes Reborn run. Maybe the comics weren't great. It's subjective. But the armor I thought was wicked. That was one of the first times that I saw the Iron Man armor where it was almost like metallic muscles. Like it was designed with ridges and lines that it looked like it was sinews of the body. That was just cool. That looked wicked. He had the kind of smokestacks on the back as well, but sort of digital smokestacks. It wasn't like he was chugging around like steampunk or anything. He just looked really cool. He had the kind of articulated jaw as well. So much cool design going on there. Would love to see that in action figure form. Sticking with Iron Man, this is one that I'm not so sure what it means. It's just listed as Iron Man 300. Is it the 300th Iron Man that Marvel Legends have made? Probably not far off. But I looked up Iron Man 300, the comic book, and it's just the same design that we've had before. So I don't know if it would be a different kind of repackage of that figure, or if 300 refers to something else. I don't know, maybe he's dressed as a Spartan. I don't know. I can just go by what's listed there. Iron Man 300. Take it for what it's worth. A classic old villain now. This is fun to see. Count Nefaria. This is someone who is... They go way back. They got a whole lot of history in the Marvel comic book universe. So I'm really pleased that they are going to get a figure, if this is the case. Again, just like I keep putting in those caveats. Is it going to happen? I don't know. But I know a guy who knows a guy, and I trust this source, and I think it might do. So check back in here in like a year and a half's time, and we'll see how accurate we were. If it was accurate that we're getting a Count Nefaria, though, I'd be quite pleased about that. Not content with just doing 2-packs, we're getting a 3-pack, and that is going to be a Shield 3-pack, which is going to be kind of interesting because it might necessitate buying another 3-pack, because we're going to get Nick Fury, Dum Dum Dugan, and Sharon Carter. That's a cool set right there, and Nick Fury will come with 2 different heads. We're going to get classic Nick Fury, and we're going to get Sam Jackson Nick Fury, so you can swap those out. That does mean that, I don't know, you're going to have to buy an entire 3-pack to get another Fury body so you can have them both. I'm sure you could fudge that head onto a different figure. Regardless, I love the idea that we might get a Dum Dum Dugan, because he's just a fun, silly character with his bowler hat, and it's a shame that they can't have the big cigar accessories, but I get that. That's fine. Seeing a new Sharon Carter, though, that'll be great, and just classic Nick Fury. Again, that's my Nick Fury that I grew up with, so seeing him represented, along with all the S.H.I.E.L.D. army builders that they put out about a year ago, your S.H.I.E.L.D. display is going to be looking pretty good. Not to be left out, just a couple of items for Spider-Man, and both of these make me really, really happy. First up, Ben Reilly. Yes, I don't know what version or form. Scarlet Spider makes the most sense in the world because we just had his 2 most recent costumes, and a lot of people still clamoring for a Scarlet Spider, and it seems like Hasbro have been looking at what old figures are going for big money and re-releasing them, remaking them. That's a smart thing to do. So having just featured in Spiderverse and being a bit more prominent, all the stars are in alignment for a new Scarlet Spider, and I will eat that up like kibble. I'll just, give me a new Scarlet Spider on the Renew Your Vows body. I'd be so happy. Even if it's a Spiderverse style one with the more kind of unique coloring, I don't mind. I'll buy 2 anyway. And then also another character that I'm a big fan favorite of, Jack-O-Lantern. Yes, I'm guessing a retro Jack-O-Lantern, which will be great because we've got a more modern one. We got the modern mercenary looking Jack-O-Lantern on his broomstick, but a classic old school Jack on his flying disc with the chainmail sort of armor. Tailor-made for a retro carded Spider-Man figure. Both of those I'd be so excited for. Now we're going to go over to the MCU side of things, and we're going to be talking about figures for new films coming out. There's nothing really spoilery, I don't think, that hasn't been already sort of spoken about and shared online, but just little spoiler warning, just in case, if you don't want to have any characters mentioned or anything, you can stop watching now. All right, this is me giving you the chance. We're going to talk about the upcoming MCU films for the next year. You can bail out now. I won't even take it personally. I won't check the video analytics to see when everything drops off, because actually normally that's about 5 seconds in. So, MCU, this is what we got coming. First of all, we're going to get a deluxe Sam Wilson in his Captain America outfit. So not Serpent Society, not New World Order, Brave New World. There we go. We're going to get a single release deluxe Sam Wilson as Captain America from the Brave New World movie. That's going to be a standalone figure. Then to go with that, of course, we're going to get a Brave New World entire wave. No other information, but I can imagine probably another version of Captain America, maybe less deluxe-y, and also probably some Serpent Society characters thrown in there. A Seth Rollins in, his Serpent Society garb, whoever he's playing, and whoever the supporting characters are, plus probably a couple of comic book characters thrown in, probably with a comic book character Build-A-Figure just to grind my gears, but hey, we'll have to wait and see. We're not done with Spiderverse, because obviously next year we're going to get the second part. We're going to get Beyond the Spiderverse, which of course will have a wave all unto itself as well. No idea what will be in that besides... I say that, I mean, we never got a Penny Parker figure, so it would make sense to have her in there. As for the other ones, well, time will tell. There is apparently also going to be an entire wave dedicated to the Thunderbolts. Now, hopefully, this will be figures that don't already have figures, because the whole point of the Thunderbolts that we've kind of seen is that they're characters that already exist. We've got Bucky, we've got Yelena, so hopefully it'll be characters that don't have action figures yet. There are certainly two that I want to talk about that are quite exciting, but they are spoilery. Just, again, there's your warning, because I don't want to be a dick. That's like the first line, the first rule of model behavior. Don't be a dick. So this is your spoiler warning. Red Hulk. Alright, so we know that Harrison Ford is playing General Ross, and people are assuming, and possibly rightly so, that at some point he will become the Red Hulk. Well, guess what? We have a Red Hulk listed on this little call sheet here, so we're going to get, I imagine, a big, deluxe MCU Red Hulk. That'll be fun. It'll be fun to see an MCU Hulk actually being like, an actual Hulk if they do go that route. So that'll be great. And also, one that makes me kind of excited, the leader. Yes, again, Tim Blake Nelson, who was teased as the leader way back in Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton in 2008? Or something like that? It was a long time ago. They're finally bringing that story back and giving it some culmination with him becoming the leader. And with that, we'll get a leader action figure. And that's pretty cool. And finally, there's going to be a Deadpool 3 wave. And this is hardly like a hot, spicy take. It's like, well, of course there's going to be action figures for them. Again, the MCU stuff, it's like, well, duh. It's like, oh, really? There's going to be another Spiderverse wave? Wow, how did your inside source ever figure that one out, Dave? I know. But yeah, Deadpool 3, which I guess, we know that Deadpool and Wolverine are going to be in it. Besides that, it could be anything. So it's kind of exciting, actually. We're going to see what happens. But yeah, that's all I've got. Just a listing, Deadpool 3. There we go. And folks, that does it for this list of figures that might or might not be coming out next year. Like I said, I know a guy who knows a guy. I trust the source, but I have literally zero credibility when it comes to leaking information, because I always just get things from secondhand sources. So really the only person who you can totally rely on is Rectangular, because man, that dude came out a few months ago with his predictions for this year, and literally every single one has been spot on. I ain't no Rectangular. I'm just some schmuck on the internet. But I do trust the information that I've heard, so let me know what you guys think. Do these excite you? Do they disappoint you? What else do you want to hear getting released? Because obviously this is just a small fraction of what will actually be coming out. There's going to be, Marvel Legends. They're going to be releasing a lot. This is probably just the tip of the iceberg, but I've got a lot of things to get excited about. So gang, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Africa.